So hi there, tarot lovers and healing people. So we have the card of the day, which is the Emperor reverse. Now I've already had this card before, so I'll leave a link with a video I made previously. So we're going to do a little exercise. So this Emperor is very much about order and discipline and conscious will. He's a very strong masculine leader type energy. And when he's upside down, we lack a little bit of that order, and there could be a little bit of chaos, and there could be a little bit of lack of focus maybe, and lack of willpower, lack of understanding and knowing what we need to be doing, what we don't need to be doing. So I'm going to do a little exercise which might bring a little bit of that more into our lives. Now, there's a couple of parts to this practice. I don't think it really matters when you find the answers to whatever. But if you can have in your mind, if you can take a few minutes now just to think about, and if you don't find it, we'll find it at the end of the practice. But if you can take a few minutes to think about just one thing today that you can do to bring order to the chaos of your life in whatever way. Have a look, see what area of your life is a little bit chaotic, and see what one thing you can do to bring a little bit of I don't know, just resolve some of that chaos and bring some order to what might be a little bit all over the place. One other thing that I would like you to think about as well is one thing that you can do which you can cut out of your life. Let's say this. Let's put it this way. One thing that you can not do, delegate, give away, avoid doing. One thing that you know is where your mind gets dispersed or where you lack a little bit of discipline. One thing that you can cut out of your life that will be this act of creating more discipline for you in your life. And if you can focus on those two things, think about that right now. We're going to just bring that into the practice at the end. So what I'd like you to do is it's a bit of a challenge, this first part, and it's quite easy if you have a lot of practice. But if you don't have a lot of practice with breathing or meditation, then it might not be easy. It might be the other way around. But I want you to be as honest as you can with this type of practice. Honest with yourself, because nobody's here to judge you. What I want you to do is to take 4 conscious breaths now. It sounds really easy. Let's take 4 conscious breaths. 4 conscious breaths means 4 because Emperor's number 4. Why not? Conscious breathing is where your mind is not focused on anything else. Not one other thought pops into your head, which nearly always happens when we start to meditate. And this is why 4 deep, conscious, slow breaths is a little bit trickier or more difficult than it sounds. And I'm going to make it even trickier as well. So what I would like you to do in this little exercise is to breathe in a deep way. So first of all, the breath is going to look like this. So there's a type of breathing called Ujjayi breathing, where you tighten just the back of your throat a little bit, and you breathe in and out through your nose, and you make this sound. If I exaggerate it. You're just tightening the back of your throat so that you can't breathe in and out too quickly. It's not a shallow breath. It's a very slow, and it's channeling the air into our lungs, but through a tightened gap in the back of our throat. And as we do this, you naturally saturate the air coming into your body with a lot more moisture, and it allows a stronger oxygenation, or it allows the water element in the lungs and in the breath allows the oxygen to be absorbed into your blood a little bit faster and a little bit easier. And at the same time, it slows your breath down, and it brings all of this focus to a certain point in your brain, which allows you to concentrate more and focus more. So if you can do this type of breathing, I mean, it's subtle. It's just, you can just tighten the back of your throat. If you can do this type of breathing, that will help. If not, just breathe normally in and out through the nose. It's not important. Another little practice. We're going to tighten what's called the mulla bandha, which is a little a gentle tightening of the muscle, as if you were trying to hold back a pee. It's around the perineum, just in between your genitals and anus, and you just tighten a little bit this muscle as if you're drawing it upwards. It's called the mulla bandha, and this is a muscle which actually holds in, then grounds your energy a little bit and gets that energy ready to raise up a little bit. So tightening this muscle as if you were trying to hold back a pee. You can practice it. You might tighten it for a little bit, but I want you to keep it tight for the whole of these 4 breaths. So we're going to tighten the mulla bandha. We're going to try and do the ujjayi breathing, and we're going to bring our focus to our third eye. And this means lifting your eyes up. I mean, you can close your eyes, but you can bring your eyes upwards and focus them here in the center of your forehead. 3 things. Slow, deep breathing. Yeah, well, there's going to be a 4th thing. Okay, this is the 4th. Slow, deep breathing. We're going to tighten the mulla bandha. We're going to focus on the third eye. And I'd like you to breathe a little bit deeper than normal. What this means is, as you breathe out, I want you to suck your abdomen in and really empty your lungs a little bit more than you would normally. As you breathe in, push your belly out. And at the end, allow your chest and shoulders to expand. Exhale. And we're going to exhale, and this is the 4th thing. So the breath is going to be slow like this, deeper. I want you to feel your rib cage open a little bit, and I want you to feel your abdomen going out and coming in a little bit. And I want you to count slowly. It doesn't matter what you count to, whether it's counting slowly to 7 or counting slowly to 8 or to 10 or to 5. It doesn't matter. What's important is to make your lungs a little bit, to fill your lungs slower, to fill your lungs a little bit more, and to have an even in-breath and out-breath. So the reason of the counting is to have an even in-breath and an even out-breath. So here we go. We're going to breathe in. We're tightening a mulla bandha, focusing on your third eye, and breathing out. Pulling your abdomen in, breathing in, push your belly out, expand your lungs, open your chest, and out. You find your own time. 4 deep breaths. Now you're going to have to pause this video because I want you to breathe 4 deep breaths, and if you lose your concentration on the mulla bandha, if you lose your concentration on the third eye, if you start thinking about something else, start again. Start again until you get 4 breaths where there's no other thoughts, where you're tightening that little muscle there in the base of your spine, where you're focusing here and you're not losing that concentration. See if you can find those 4 breaths. This is where the honesty comes in, and this is the real practice. So pause this video, see if you can get those 4 breaths down as much as possible, and once you have those 4 breaths, you can press pause again, start the video, and I'd like you to bring into awareness and ask yourself, what is one thing that I can cut out of my life that I don't need, that is just giving me excess stress in my life today? One thing that I can avoid doing. And make that promise to yourself that you will cut that out just for today, if it's just for today, but you will cut that out today. You can breathe into that, feel what it means, make that promise to yourself. Ask yourself, how can I bring some order to my chaos? What area of my life, and what small thing can I do to bring some order to the chaos in my life? And promise yourself that you're going to do that one small thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Don't make it something difficult. Make it easy. And one last thing we're going to ask ourselves is, what can I do that I know is really good for me, that I always put off or sometimes forget, or don't choose to do because it's a little bit challenging? What small thing can I do today that's realistic? Make it realistic. One thing that you can promise that you can do today. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Make it a small thing so it's realistic. And promise yourself that you'll do that. Good. If you had difficulty with the breath, try it again when you're a little bit more relaxed, a little bit later. Focus on how you can really incorporate those practices, focusing on your third eye, channeling the air through the back of your throat, tightening the Mula Bandha, breathing deeply, expanding your lungs, and just avoiding all thoughts for 4 deep breaths, avoiding and keeping your focus really tight. This is part of that sort of masculine emperor energy that we're bringing in, a little bit more focus and concentration. Try this exercise. I hope it helps you a little bit. Make sure that those 3 things that we were thinking about, what you can get rid of, what you can let go of, how you can bring a little bit more chaos into your life, and what you can do, not chaos, how you can bring a little bit more order into your life, and how you can also discipline yourself and do something that's really good for you. So those 3 things, if you make sure that they're realistic, because you don't want to make a promise to yourself and then break that promise. Make sure that they're realistic, and make sure that you do them today. Otherwise, this practice is not so positive for you. Make sure there's something that you can do and that you will do with enthusiasm and love, and that ready to go energy of that outward masculine emperor vibe. I hope you have a great day and wish you all the best.